Oh no! I couldn't reach a rope in time.
I'm running, my friend. Oh, it looks like... Oh, you don't... I'm gonna YOLO. Oh, he should be dead. He should be dead. You the best. I'm gonna make you some fillet wrapped in bacon with a red wine sauce.
My man.
Rogue restore hive detected.
You brings me down. I'm coming.
Oh, gents, this build is quite good. Wow, it's like freaking, I had to fight how many people? Yo, this build is really good. What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be, to be honest, my best solo build. Currently, I've been testing a whole bunch of combinations. It's been a rough ride. I have tried 2 million armor builds. I've tried 900k armor builds with full DPS. I've tried hazard protection. I've tried all armor regen. I've tried a whole matter of things, and I finally found the perfect combination to make it easier for the player who wants to be solo in the dark zone or in conflict or even in PvE. So this is going to be the best solo build that you can utilize in the game currently in PvP, in my opinion. So this is going to be mainly a PvP build. So yeah, let's get into this right now. So the first thing we're going to go over is the specializations. So technician is, I'm sure if you guys watch me, you do realize that I love the specialization. It's very, very underrated and very, very strong. The reason being is because you get a skill tier. You also get more skill damage, skill healing if you need it. Faraday field is very, very good also. Party members within 5 meters who are deployed at undisrupted skills are immune to shock and disruption. This can be utilized with the hive that we are currently having on this build. You also get, oh, well, that's for every build, 15% bonus armor while you're throwing your skill. You can use the artificial hive if you want, but the main thing about this build is +1 skill tier. And I do really enjoy the utility from this. We're going to be using assault rifles and SMGs. You can go ahead, you can use whatever you want. There are very good options here, many options you guys can use. To be honest, the fact that the armor kit from the firewall specialization was nerfed makes it pretty much viable to use any kind of specialization with good reason. Now you need to decide what kind of playstyle you want to be utilizing. If you want to be in cover more, survivalist is your one. If you want to get faster reloads, more weapon handling, you can either choose gunner or sharpshooter, depending on what kind of stats you want. So just read through it and adapt it to fit and suit your own playstyle. Like with all my builds, use them as a template to adapt and adjust. Use it as a template because I don't want people to copy builds. It never works. If you guys like to stay in cover, use composure instead of vigilance, for example. Just work upon it and just adapt it to whatever you want to be utilizing in the game. So we're going to go over the pieces now. I used this build on stream today. I will actually link that VOD if you guys want to see me use this build. I used it for quite a while and it was very successful. I also played in a team a bit just to give it a bit of a let's see what happens when we 1v2, 1v3, 1v4 people. And I can say with confidence you can survive so much because I wanted to balance out survivability, damage and hazard protection. Well, it's part of survivability, but it's more complicated than that. So this is my idea. So we have gone with a 1.5 million armor build. Now this is going to be mainly for solo players. I tried an all hazard protection build. I didn't do damage and my armor wasn't getting relieved as quickly. I tried an all armor regen build. I lacked damage. I lacked hazard protection. I kind of combined all three of them together and made this build, and I'm very happy to report back that this is right now what I use in solo DZ or solo conflict. This is amazing. I know if you go to conflict, you're not actually solo, you're playing with 4 players, but trust me, a lot of the time if you run by yourself, you could still fight 2 or 3 players by yourself in conflict. So that's what I mean when I say that. The Lady Death, the reason why I have this on me is there's no choice. It's like the shields in this game. If you don't use a shield or you don't utilize Lady Death, you are pretty much ruining yourself, because it's really, really strong. You get 75% amplified damage, which is just too good to pass up. So you guys make sure you put that on. But this is going to be the main weapon that I'm going to be utilizing. The G36C, one of the, well, it's not the C, it's just the G36, doesn't matter. One of the best guns in the game. Damage to targets out of cover is very, very strong. Within sync, hitting enemy grants 15% skill damage, and then 15% weapon damage when using a skill like the shield. When you pull out your shield, you will be dishing out 30% weapon damage, which is very, very strong. So make sure you utilize this. Then once you've got the guns settled, we're going to go into the mods. Obviously you can't mod the Lady Death. When you go here, just mod crit chance everything, because crit chance is going to be hard to come by, because this is going to be a survivability build. I'm going to try to give as many options as I can. If you're on console, Pestilence is a very, very good option with this build, because you can do sustained amount of DPS whilst running around. Here's the thing, guys, this build will be stronger on console than what it is for PC. Because we have got armor regen on this build, it's going to be a bit difficult for me, because it's easier to hit your shots on PC. So when you're running on a console, you'll be able to avoid the shots, and your armor regens quite significantly quick. It regens pretty fast. I can show you guys just now in the firing range if it works. It's really good, as you can see from the footage I showcased. I feel like it's the right amount. So let's go over the premise and the idea of this build. So we have got the Coyote Mask, which gives us damage at close range. We have got hazard protection on certain pieces, and armor regen pieces stacking percentage base values as well, which goes on top of the 1.5 million armor. We are able to tank all kinds of fire, seeker mines and things like that because of our armor, and because of the booster hive, which mitigates and removes status effects and gives us extra hazard protection. We also have over 40,000 armor regen, which allows you to actually run around strafe and actually regen your armor at a very high rate. So it's just a great solo build to utilize in the game right now. And it is very difficult to survive in the game if you want to play solo. This is pretty much a team-based game, but I wanted to make a solo build to help people like me, because I do enjoy playing solo. So let's go over each individual piece. Coyote Mask, the reason why I went for this is because I didn't really want to focus too much on damage in this build. It's all about survivability. This mask alone gives us a high amount of damage. Now I'm a bit sad I had to put crit chance, because I needed to get my Lady Death up to 60%. If you don't get 60% for your assault rifle, it is quite a hindrance, but there's nothing you can do. You have to sacrifice one or the other. It's one of the things in the game right now. Put crit chance mods on, then we're going to be giving ourselves 25% critical hit damage. So here's where it gets interesting. I do not have maxed out crit chance for my assault rifle, but with 25 plus meters you get 25% critical hit chance. So we will pretty much get maxed out crit chance when you are utilizing our assault rifle. So it makes perfect sense to use this, and with the Lady Death we are getting a huge amount of crit damage because we have maxed out crit chance. Also, the mask comes with weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and I've rolled crit chance on it. So that's where we're going to be getting a lot of our damage from. Also, the chest piece, now we are utilizing the one piece healer guard. Why? Because we get more armor, crit chance, hazard protection. I thought to myself, you know what, guys, I could put armor regen here and get over 45k armor regen. It's completely up to you. Like I say, just adapt it to your own playstyle. If you're on console, I would go all out armor regen, but for me, there's a lot of sticky bombs and EMP stickies going around, which are difficult to to mitigate. So this is why it's so important. The nice thing about the healer guard chest piece is because it has a blue mod slot, which means we can put 10% burn resistance, which is beautiful, and then unbreakable. Now you're probably wondering, well, we're using adrenaline rush with unbreakable. Now there's a reason I'm going to explain this, is because intimidate is a lot of damage, but it is less survivability than unbreakable. So I decided, let's go for this. I tried intimidate. Yes, I was hitting slightly harder, but this is really, really strong, especially when you stack it with intimidate, because there are a few things you guys might not know, which I'm going to try and showcase when we go to the backpack. So just give it a go. Try unbreakable. It is obviously a bit less damage, but you do get more survivability. Now remember, it is not 95% of your armor that you get back. It is actually less. It's about 40%. It sounds like a little bit, but 40% of 1.5 mil is really good. So I would say anything less than 1.3, 1.2 mil armor is actually not worth using Unbreakable. That means you want to go for more damage. So you can increase your damage, and that's how I would do it on this build. Put Intimidate and maybe go for more crit damage, but it's completely up to you guys. Like I said, I've had a lot of success with this build lately, so just take it with a grain of salt. So we're going to be utilizing the Golden Gear set, which is really good, the two-piece status effect, which is going to help us a little bit, not too much, depending on what kind of skill you want to use. We also get the 1% armor regen. Doesn't sound like much, but it is quite good depending on how much armor you actually stack on your character. So two-piece Golden is perfect with armor regen, Hasbro, and armor. Very, very nice. Backpack, this is actually quite important. Now, a lot of you guys might be wondering why using a Walker and Harris. Sockle of Concern could be a good addition and a good change, but here's the thing, okay? Perfect Adrenaline Rush is absolutely ridiculously strong. It is 9% more bonus armor, which is huge when you're fighting a group of players. The normal Adrenaline Rush is only 20%, okay? So that's 60%. It does scale down in PvP, but it doesn't matter. It's still 3% more. So it's 9% you are getting from this, which is so strong. 9% of 1.5 million is a decent amount. So this is why I think Adrenaline Rush, the perfect version, is so vital. The Matador backpack, which is, it's been sold at the vendors a few times. So I'm hoping you guys did watch my videos and actually purchase this. So unfortunately, I've got weapon handling. Crit damage would have been ideal, but we do have maxed out weapon damage, which is quite nice. Weapon handling comes in handy with the assault rifle from range. But yeah, perfect Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of enemy, gain 23% bonus armor for 5 seconds. You guys know me. I personally believe Concussion is one of the best talents in the game right now for damage. But like I said, this is for all about survivability. And this talent is absolutely scary good. When you combine this with armor regen, I don't know how to explain this, but when your armor is regenning, this Adrenaline Rush is always capping it off. It's capping it off, capping it off. And it's so important to make sure you utilize the perfect variant. Trust me, guys, it's such a good talent. The perfect version. Don't pass this up. Even if your stats aren't even that good. And I never say that, but the percentage-based values are huge. So make sure you do that. Now, obviously, if you're running less than 1.2, 1.3 mil armor, it's a bit different. But when you're going for more than 4 blues or 4 or more blues, definitely utilize this. Maybe even 3, depending on what kind of pieces you have. Then we're going to go over the gloves, which is Hazard, Armor Regen, Armor once again, Armor Regen, 1% for the 2-piece. Then one of the cornerstones of the build, which is the beautiful Emperor's Guard knee pads, which gives us 1% Armor Regen. Very, very nice. Maxed out armor. Unfortunately, weapon handling. It would be great if that had Hazard protection, but it is what it is. Now we're going to go over the skills. So the Booster Hive gives me cleansing of status effects. That's why, because we don't have maxed out Hasbro. This will remove the status effects if you guys didn't know, and it's very, very nice. It also gives you delivers a stimulus to nearby allies that increases their weapon handling. It gives you weapon handling, hazard protection, and melee damage. And to be honest, when you pull out a shield with the damage bonuses from the shield and the Lady Death, you do quite a decent amount of damage, like 300k per hit. If you guys know the bonk build, it's pretty strong. So you can actually utilize the melee damage as well from this. So it's a great talent to use with this build. The reason why I use it is because, you know, if you want to use the assault rifle from range and you want to cleanse the status effects, because we don't have Hasbro, which in a solo build could be important, but I found, and from my testing, I just needed more armor regen. But if you have armor regen and Hasbro on every single piece, that'd be really nice, to be honest. But it all depends on your RNG. So with the shield, I've gone for this one right here, obviously, because we want to utilize it with our gun. It has got a decent amount of damage on it. When you mod it, make sure it's a tier 5 shield. I know people are probably wondering, hey, another shield build. If you're not using shields in PvP, you are hindering yourself. Make sure you do it. Plus 4% damage bonus. This actually counts towards the melee damage as well. Then shield health, and then shield health once more. Very important. Let's go over the juicy stats, because the stats actually look pretty nice on this build. So the crit chance is 60 for the SMG, 61% crit damage, and 56% headshot damage. When we swap to the assault rifle, that's 46. Remember, we're going to be getting over 20-something% for the mask, which will get us to that 60% or roundabout, which is perfect. And then with we're just going to move slowly down. You guys can go pause the video, have a look, decide if you want to look at anything. Completely up to you guys. Here it gets interesting. 43,333 armor regen. I can get it over probably 46, 47k if I put on the chest piece and get my values higher, and maybe even put armor regen on my mask to sacrifice damage, which I wouldn't really recommend, because you don't want to just be a guy running around shooting marshmallows. It's not a good idea for your team as well. But if you are playing solo, you want to kind of at least be able to take down the enemy. So the 75% damage bonus from the Lady Death, or the in sync talent abuse, as people say, really gives you the damage you need. So you could potentially do that, but I feel like anything over 35,000 armor regen is good enough. So let's go through it. Now our Hasbro is only, let's go through this quickly. This is interesting, 40%. But here's the difference, is the booster hive will make up for it, and the burn resistance is 50%. Like I said before, I don't really have too much issues with it currently. You can get out the foam pretty quick, especially if you utilize the booster hive, but this is just from what I found. I do have a 97% hazard protection build, and with my pieces it just doesn't make sense. I cannot do damage. My armor doesn't regen fast enough. It's quite annoying, because you need 2-piece Cheska, you need 3-piece 511 and 1-piece Yarl gear, which you lose so many different types. But I definitely do feel so powerful utilizing this build. It's very, very good, and I really recommend it for any kind of player who wants to be playing solo. Just remember that when you actually utilize in sync with your shield with this gun, the damage is almost on par with the Lady Death. Now the fire rate is less, but it's really, really strong. So you can use whatever assault rifle you want. But yeah, that's going to be it for this build videos, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think you would change it up? What talents would you trade it off? Do you want more damage, more survivability possibly? I personally think this is absolutely amazing, and this is what I use to survive in the DZ. It's nothing really crazy new. I'm not claiming I made this up. It's been around all the time, but this is currently what I'm using, so I wanted to update you guys because I get a lot of requests about this. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll be seeing everybody in the next video. Peace out, guys.